I appreciate people like Logan Paul. I appreciate him at least taking serious stuff, and he's very big and no question about them. But this is now becoming more of a, for me, it's just become more annoying that we just keep having celebrity involvement. Travis Scott's going to get involved at some point, probably even during SummerSlam itself. We know John Cena, Cody Rhodes is going to main event at least one of the nights of SummerSlam. So we're probably going to see Travis Scott be involved there. I just I don't understand it. This feels like more of a TKO involvement than it does Triple H actually doing what he wants to do. That's how I feel about it. I don't know what you guys feel, but for me, this seems maybe even a Nick Khan thing, where it is all about kind of maybe getting it out there with different people. Then, oh, my favorite singer is Jelly Roll, and oh, he's appearing in SummerSlam. I need to go to either buy a ticket or I need to go and watch SummerSlam. I just don't like it. For me personally, it kind of makes the wrestlers look weak. Like when Big Show, we're back at 20 WrestleMania, when he took on Floyd Mayweather Jr., to have Floyd Mayweather Jr. beat the Big Show, just totally, for me personally, it just makes the wrestling or the wrestler a joke. Why would a boxer, yes, the punching power is there, but why would a boxer come into a wrestling ring with no wrestling experience and beat a professional wrestler that's been doing the job for years? Makes zero sense to me. This, I'll be honest with you, and I'll be totally transparent with you. I am zoning out of WWE, predominantly because of things like this. This is the reason why it's very difficult for me as an old school wrestling fan. I'm sure old school wrestling fans appreciate it, that I'm zoning out of this. It is difficult. It's a difficult watch, and I don't like it. There we go. Enough said about that. Anyway, let's move on. I mean, Naomi and Jade Cargill are having their match tonight at Evolution. They were fighting last night. It kicked off last night big time between these two. This was cinema. This is where they do things well. They went to the crowd. They showed Jade Cargill, and then all of a sudden, from behind, Naomi attacks. They brawl everywhere. Gets thrown over the announce table. They're kicking off. This is the good thing about WWE, and this is what they do best. And they're getting split apart by security. Security can't stop them. Nick Aldis is out there. He can't seem to stop them. And then Nick Aldis gets on the microphone and says, well, look, your match is no holds barred tomorrow. The fact that you're constantly assaulting staff, referees, security, we need a special referee to get involved in this. And thus that brings out Bianca Belair. Now, this makes total sense. Bianca Belair, friends with Naomi, was Jade Cargill's partner at the time of Naomi putting Jade Cargill through the window. So this comes full circle now, which is great. I totally understand it. I totally get it. And it makes total sense for this to happen. The question is, Bianca Belair here. Now, this is the key. Now, there's been a lot of times, I need to sip my coffee, where Bianca Belair has been potentially turning heel. Now could be the great time. It also is good timing because on SmackDown this week, the Street Profits lost the tag team championships to the Wyatt Six. So could this all come full circle for them? And could the Street Profits and Bianca Belair do a heel turn? And more predominantly, or more interestingly, would the heel turn work? We've seen it like when they tried with the Hurt Business in the WWE. It didn't work. The fans loved it. Even in AEW, the fans loved the Hurt Syndicate. And it hasn't worked as a heel. So will it work? There's the key. But a great bit of cinema for the WWE here. Loved it. Really enjoyed it. And it gives it that more big fight feel tonight at Evolution. Obviously, that's live on Netflix. Another late night for me. You can see the bags under my eyes. Jesus Christ, Botox. Big wrestling weekend, obviously, this weekend. But by the way, you AEW fans, All In Review is coming straight up as well. But a great bit of work here from WWE on that side of it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that bit. But let's move now to the United States Championship match, which followed suit after this. It was Solo Sikoa, the new United States champion, against Jimmy Uso. Good match here. I enjoyed this one. You knew the numbers game, the Tongas and bloody whoever else. Everything seems to be a Fatu or a Tonga or something these days. You knew, obviously, Solo with his cronies was going to be there, and you kind of knew that Jimmy Uso didn't have a chance in hell of winning the championship at this particular occasion. Anyway, I do think a Jimmy Uso title reign, a single title reign, will happen. But I'm also expecting the Usos to get back together at some point. Don't know when that point will be, but it will be some point. I did enjoy this. It was a solid match. You knew there was going to be interference in it, which there was, of course, from the Tongas. I can't remember. Tala, whoever else at ringside. But yeah, JC Mateo, of course, he got taken out early in this as well. Tangaloa, Tonga, and Tala. Anyway, Solo Sikoa does indeed win this match. It was, as I said, a solid match. Solo wins with the spike. But again, this is a lot of it that happened after the match. They try to gang up on Jimmy Uso. Out comes the returning Jacob Fatu, cleans house. He has a bit of a stare down with Palatonga. Hikaleo, as we all know him. I mean, that's an interest. Hikaleo and Tamatonga, Jacob Fatu. This is just getting ridiculous. They had a great stare down. That's an interesting one. Fatu and Hikaleo would be a great match. They had a bit of a to do in the ring. Hikaleo did get the better of it until he tried to charge at Jacob Fatu, who brought the rope down on him, and that was it. But yeah, interesting with this one. I do really like what they're doing here with this. I like where they're going. Is Jey Uso going to potentially side with his brothers, shall we say, in this? No, not brothers, because Fatu don't do it. Solo Sikoa's the brothers. I don't know, it's early, man. Is Jey Uso going to side with his brother and join Jacob Fatu, who, if you remember, way back when Fatu come in, they were against Jacob Fatu coming into the WWE to begin with. And that's what's kind of started the problems with it. Or that's what kind of kicked off their feud, really. They were like, why did you bring him in? He's an absolute lunatic, which he is, but he's a great lunatic, I must say. So, yeah, that's an interesting one, where they're going to go with that. And will Jey Uso be the one that sides with them? We will see. Only time will tell, but we've only got... And this is the thing. We're now literally 2-3 weeks away from SummerSlam. And we're kind of like in a bit of a... Only really one match has been announced for SummerSlam at the minute, which we knew about. Oh, 2 matches, sorry. The Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill, will obviously get her chance for the Women's Championship, I think, against Tiffany Stratton. And Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Those are the only 2 matches that we know from a 2-night SummerSlam, August 2nd and August 3rd. So things are going to have to start happening pretty quickly. Yeah, that's for sure. WWE. And sometimes when they rush things, if there's a story there, it's cool, and there's plenty of storylines flying around in the WWE at the minute. But it is a little bit feeling like a rush job right now. You can see where they're building, but is it too early for some of this build to happen at SummerSlam? Is it? I don't know. But we'll wait and see. But we are only 2-3 weeks away from a 2-night SummerSlam. And great news, Cardi B is going to be there. You would give a fuck, because I don't give 2 shits about Cardi B SummerSlam. But anyway, move on to the action. LA Knight, Seth Rollins. Damn. Looks like another bad injury to Seth Rollins on this one. You never can tell in wrestling whether this is a worker or not. I feel as if it was legit injury for Seth Rollins. I was expecting, because he tried this. He'd already tweaked his knee, I think, on Raw or SmackDown this week, and then he does this move where he flies on over the rope, does a move, and then jumps back and does another one over the other rope. And he tried that again this week. He done like a backflip and landed on his feet, but his leg gave way.
and it gave way to a point in which he was just lying in the corner. Now, as a heel, I was expecting, here we go, he's just going to get up and just, as the doctor's attending to him, what it's like when they're a heel, they jump in and crack him and that's it. But he didn't. LA Knight looked at the doctor. Heyman was checking on Rollins. Rollins manages to get to his feet, and LA Knight immediately hits him with the BFT and wins the match. And when they do that, that's the kind of the sign that an audible has been called in the ring, and that perhaps that match had to end. Seth wasn't maybe able to continue the match. Do I like it? Yeah, I do kind of like it when they get to the end, even if they call an audible like that, so he finishes the match. But this is going to have major implications now. We've seen it in the past. Mr. Anderson won Money in the Bank. If you check his interview down below in the playlist, he'll explain that he won the Money in the Bank. He was misdiagnosed, and that misdiagnosis cost him the World Heavyweight Championship. So we need to see how long Seth is out for. He's got a history of knee injuries as well. If you go back to when he first won the championship, when he was part of the Authority, an injury there forced him out of the game for quite a while. Hopefully, it's not as serious for Seth, and he can be back very, very soon. But it's not looking good when they have to finish the match off as quickly as they did. So we'll see. We'll see with Seth. Hopefully, not too bad. And he'll probably be evaluated today or tomorrow, and we'll probably get a better idea of where we are with him in the foreseeable future or in the next couple of days. It doesn't look great, but not the only serious injury, by the way, to happen this week. We will get into that on the AEW review of All In very, very soon. But yeah, hopefully Seth Rollins is not serious. And if it is, implications as to what happens is going to be interesting going forward. So we pray that Seth Rollins is good. Main event, Saturday night's main event, literally. Gunther, Goldberg. Goldberg's retirement match in the WWE. He had Doug Dillinger come with, I think Doug Dillinger, someone come with him from his old school days in WCW, banging on the door. Goldberg, it's time, the big entrance. To be honest, I was expecting this match to go minutes, but it actually went a while. And for anyone that has any doubts about Gunther, this proves that he is one of the best wrestlers to do it right now. He pulled Goldberg into actually probably one of Goldberg's top 5 matches in the WWE, I would say. It's actually really, really good. Gage gets involved in this. Goldberg hits a spear and the jackhammer with the referee knocked out. The other referee comes in, Sean Bennett, I think it was 2.9. You're like, shit, you may have won this. But no, Gunther eventually chokes out Bill Goldberg to win and will retain his WWE Championship, which, it wasn't. There was 2 things. Matt Edgar made a great point on the Worldwide Wrestling UK YouTube channel. Go and check that out at Worldwide Wrestling UK about why Gunther may have lost that championship to Goldberg. But he didn't. That being said, Goldberg at the end, his family at ringside, says goodbye in a lot of ways. Is that his last wrestling match is the question. For me, I don't think it's his last time he will wrestle. I do think it's his last match in the WWE. I think he will go and look to do some form of retirement tour. There was talks about Israel and things like that. I think he'll do that. But nevertheless, last time Goldberg in active competition in WWE, will Gage Goldberg, his son, ever get in the ring? We've been hearing little whispers that potentially that's a potential sort of plan B if his NFL career doesn't work out. So we might not. It's not the last time we might see a Goldberg in the WWE, but I think it's the last time we'll see Bill Goldberg at least wrestle in the WWE. And of course, if it is, great run. We'll always remember Bill from his WCW days with the incredible streak and how unstoppable he was back then. But for Gunther, it's a great win. Now, the rumor has it that John Cena's last opponent in the WWE is indeed going to be Gunther, which means that Gunther could have a habit of retiring wrestlers right now. And that's the latest going around it's kind of confirmed internally with the WWE. Gunther will be John Cena's final opponent. We'll have to wait and see. But Saturday night's main event in the books. If you like ad breaks and you like a lot of you like watching it on YouTube with the 1,000,001 ad breaks it does. It was still a solid show. SummerSlam implications are we need to hear more about Seth Rollins' injury. Hopefully, we will do in the next 24 hours, and we'll bring that to you. But you can carry on following us at HTT Buckle on X, HTT Buckle on YouTube, Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, and all other social media outlets. I'm going to do the all-in review right now, and then I'm going downstairs for Breaking Point. Ignite reaches its breaking point on the road to Buckle Up, sold out from Shenley Road this afternoon. If you're coming, enjoy it, and we'll see you there. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe.